Good morning, children. Mm, so, you know that I am handling maths, so and physics also. So, today I am going to take you physics, that is science subject. I think you know my introduction also already. I have been taken to 3 classes. So, today we will go with the physics subject for 8th and as well as 9th. Because the common thing is there between 8th and 9th, there is no much difference are there. Today we are going with the bridge courses. So I will not enter into the subject, I told you already, because bridge course is very important. You should know everything in bridge courses. So if you don't know what is in the bridge course, what are the definitions, what are the losses, then it is very difficult for you to understand the topic. So let us see what we mean by the bridge course and everything else. First, what thing I want to ask is, I think you know you studied science from the beginning. From the beginning in the sense, maybe from first standard to 8th standard if you are in 8th standard, or from first standard to 9th standard if you are in 9th standard. So, what do you mean by science then? What does the word science indicate here? Because you may be telling when you pass 10th I will be taking science, some will say I will go with commerce and some will say I will go with arts. Okay, sure, fine. It is good also. It is your choice. But if you are in 8th, if you are in 9th, if you are in 10th, if someone asks you what do you mean by science, then what will be your answer? Science means science is a science. But there's some meaning, everything has some meaning. They don't give the name simply because it is a subject. It has more meaning. You have many sciences also. You may ask which are those many sciences also. For example, we start going on giving some sciences here. So we have, if you open your social textbook, now the new one, you have the social science. Okay, you may get social science there. See, they are mixing social and science here. Why they are mixing social and science? Do you know? You have to know. Why? Because many may ask. So we are taking science. What do you mean by science? When you are studying science, or you may have moral science. You have moral science also, or you may have environmental science. Environmental science also. Then what is the science there? See, social science is there, environmental science is there, moral science is there. Then why you are using the word here science, again science is there. And what is this science here? The subject what we are studying now. What is the difference between these sciences and these sciences? There should be some difference, no? I think many of you don't know the meaning of the science, particular science word also. Okay? So what you are doing is, beginning in the part 1 of your textbook, and the heading of the textbook, just to make sure that write the definition what I will be writing on the board. Just to write what you mean by generally science there. So the definition of science is very simple. The systematic study of any subject is called science. So, the systematic study of any subject is called science. Generally, if you study any subject, whatever the subject may be, it may be social, it may be English, it may be Kannada, it may be any other subject. If you study those subjects very systematically in the sense one by one, then only it is called science. Otherwise, it is not called science. So the systematically of any subject is called science. So social we are studying as social science because social we are studying systematically, or you may study moral systematically, then it is called moral science, or you may study environment systematically, then it is called environmental science. Then what is this science then? Why is it only science then? Generally it is not only science, generally we say it is a general science. Generally use the word general science. I think you might have heard some people telling GS. GS is nothing but general science. So what we study in general science? General science means generally we study everything. So everything we study in general science. Probably you might know that the science is totally divided into 3 parts. Generally, if you go private classes, you may get more division also, but for you only it is divided into 3 parts. First part is chemistry, second part is biology, and third part is physics. So I will be handling only physics subject for you. Then what do you mean by physics then? The same question I am asking you again and again. What is physics then? Why you have to study physics? What is the importance of studying physics? See, physics is such a subject. Wherever you see, whatever you see in your house, outside, everything is all of physics only. Without physics, nothing is there. You know what is physics then? You might have seen the bulb in your home which is blowing, or you might have seen the rotation of fan is rotating in your home, or you may have, some may have air coolers in your home, or some may have air conditioners in your home. Everything works on science. Then that is physics only. So how does it work then? So generally we won't go in deep in physics here. So what is given for you? Generally we are going in the bridge courses. So I want to tell you some definitions which are useful for you for both 8th and 9th, as well as which is a continuation of 10th terms. So what does it mean then? Why we have to study this therefore? I think everyone has a motorcycle, maybe car, it may be two-wheeler or it may be three-wheeler. Many will have many vehicles with you. Then how does the car move? If you want to move the car very fast, then what you have to do there? Anyone? Simply your answer will be just press the accelerator. If you press the accelerator, what happens? The car moves fast or the total vehicle moves fast. What is accelerator? Generally, accelerator is a common word. We don't use it as accelerator. The exact word is acceleration. So when you are using the word, you should use the word acceleration. Acceleration in the sense the moving of vehicle. So if acceleration is fast, automatically the speed will be fast of your vehicle. We will go in detail about acceleration and everything. I think you might have also know the periodic table. Periodic table, how many elements are there? So we have radicals and you may have laminates. So everything is there in physics. For example, if you go and see 10 in the last, they have given the periodic table here. So they are mentioned depending upon atomic number. So what is atomic number here? What is modern periodic table? What does modern periodic table says? Do you know what is modern periodic table? This you might have studied in the 9th standard, I think, the 8th or 9th standard. What is modern periodic table says? The properties of elements are determined or kept according to the atomic number. Not first in the beginning they used to go with the atomic size or atomic mass, but now they are going with the atomic number. So what is the modern periodic table says? The properties of elements are depends, or the properties of elements in the periodic table are kept according to their atomic number. That's why you can see the elements having the atomic number from 1, 2, 3, 4. In that way they have kept the periodic table. So you have many elements in the periodic table. So each element has each properties. So many elements have many properties also. In some we use the word isotopes. What are isotopes? Why use the word isotope? What is important of isotopes? Let me see. What are isotopes? In the periodic table, we don't get isotopes there, we get only atomic number, but we have many things which are in common. For example, if you take carbon, the atomic number of carbon is 6. Carbon is 6. But carbon, you can get carbon in many different forms. Many different forms in the sense, in the form of graphite in the sense, the pencil what we use in the home, or the purest carbon what it is, the diamond, or the blackish part of your coal is also a carbon. Anything which burns and gives you the black color is carbon. So that is the main property of carbon here. So what are isotopes? Isotopes, right now the definition of isotopes I will explain you. Isotopes are the atoms of the elements having same atomic number but different atomic masses. So what are the isotopes? Isotopes are the atom of the elements. So these are the atoms of the elements. Do you know what the elements? So atoms we know, elements having same atomic number but they have different atomic masses. So here we give the importance to the atomic number as well as atomic masses, so that you will be clear with atomic number as well as atomic mass. That's why I told the properties of elements are based in the periodic on atomic number but not on atomic mass, because we get the same element. I give an example of carbon, which you get carbon in different forms. So we cannot keep all the carbon compounds in the periodic table. So what they did is they kept carbon in the 6th place, but masses they went on changing, because we get masses in different ways, 3 ways, 4 ways, 5 ways. So here this is the problem when you are placing the atomic number. That also we have. So many scientists failed to place the atomic number in the periodic table. At last one person remained who placed the atomic number taking as atomic number instead of atomic masses. Okay. So isotopes are the atoms of the elements having same atomic number but different atomic masses also. We have, I think you know, structure of cell also. So let me see here. If this is a cell, in the cell what we have protons. Correct? In the cell what we have in the cells, we have protons, as well as we have neutrons, and electrons will be involved. So what will be involved here? The electrons. These are called electrons. So protons with positive charge, neutrons no charges at all, they will be always neutral, and electrons with negative charge. So protons with positive charge, neutrons with negative charge, and electrons with negative charge. So what is the atomic number then? Do you know what is atomic number? I think you might have known what is atomic number, atomic masses. So that definitions are good also. What do you mean by atomic number and atomic masses afterwards. First you copy this so that it will be easy for you to understand the concept of isotopes. Another thing, we have valence electrons also. That also is the definition. So what are valence electrons then? Why do you call them as valence electrons? What is the importance of valence electrons? The electrons which are present in the outermost shells are called valence electrons. So what are valence electrons? The electrons which are present in the outermost shell are called valence electrons. And one thing you have to remember, only valence electrons will take place in chemical reaction. If you go for chemistry there, this could be chemistry also get the valence electrons, and as well as in physics also get the valence electrons. In chemistry, if you go with valence electrons, these are the only electrons which take part in the chemical reaction. Remaining no electrons will take part in the chemical reaction. So how are these electrons are placed there? We have shells also. I think you remember the shells, K, L, M, N. So how to place electrons in the orbital? What I told you already. If we take this in an atom, here we have protons, and here we have neutrons, and around that we have electrons. So how many electrons can take place in one shell? This first shell, generally we use the word shell here. So when the shell we use the word shell, so they given each name to the each shell here. So what are the names given to the each shell? Let us see it. So they have taken K, L, M, and N. So you can give many names also depending upon how many names. So we can ask how you keep electrons, how many electrons are there in each shell. So how to keep the electrons in the shells then. So what is the procedure to keep the electrons in the shells? So you may say I can keep 2 electrons in one shell, some may say I can keep 3 electrons in one shell, some may say I will keep 4 electrons in one shell. So it is not like that. So electrons has their own capacity in each shell. That can be done by using a simple formula 2n square. So if you use this formula 2n square, you can come to know how many electrons are present in each shell. For example, if I say n equals to 1, so that is 1 square, because the value of n is 1 square. So 2 into 1 equals 2. So in first shell, how many electrons I can keep? I can keep only 2 electrons. Got it? So So in the same way, we can go on keeping the electrons in each shell. For example, if n equals to 2, so how many electrons we can keep in second shell? This is n equals to 2 then. So if I take n equals to 2, the same formula you can use here, 2n square, 2 into 2 square, 2 into 4 is 8. So how many electrons you can keep in second shell? You can keep 8 electrons in the second shell. Going like this, going on, you can go on keeping the shells in each shell. Or if you want to know clearly, you can go with the electronic configuration also. I think you might have known electronic configuration or electronic configuration also. I told you in the beginning the difference between mass and electron number. The properties of elements are kept according to the basis on their electron number, so atomic number, but not on atomic masses. In the same way, we have many things to tell you. So I think you know about the energies here. So we have many energies. We have motion. We have energies. Let us see what are these types of motions. So what is motion? What do you mean by motion? What is motion? What is a motion? When the object is moving, motion means this object will be moving from one side to another side. It is the word. The general word what we use here. But exactly what do you mean by motion? So write down the definition. An object is said to be in motion an object is said to be in motion. So when you say the object is in motion, the object is said to be in motion if the position changes with the time. If the position changes with the time, so if the position changes with the time with reference to a fixed frame. So when we say the object is in motion, so an object is said to be in motion. The word motion here. So it is in 8. We have one chapter in 8, one chapter 9, as well as one chapter in 10th also. So motion. When we say the object is in motion means it says that an object is said to be in motion if the position changes. What it has to do? It has to change the position from one position to another position, from one place to another place. It has to change. So if the object is said to be in motion, if the position changes, what with respect to time? In the given time, it has to change, and also with reference to a fixed frame. Fixed frame in a fixed place. So we cannot say the object in the fixed place means by taking this and keeping here. No, it is not like that. So an object is said to be in motion when the position changes with time with a reference to a fixed frame. So this is important one. Write down in it also we have a definition of motion also. An object is said to be in motion if the position changes with time with respect to a fixed frame. Then to go with the another one, displacement is there. they will fall in the same. So you see, if you observe, the motion and the displacement will fall in the same, but there are lot of changes between the displacement as well as with the motion. So displacement you can take, it refers to distance it refers to distance traveling in a given direction. Travel in a given direction. Motion is the position changes here. Here, the distance traveled here. You can observe these two things here. The position with respect to time. Here, distance traveled and in given direction. In particular direction, how the object is moving. The object is moving in left side or right side, or if it is moving in any other side. So we can calculate the objects in this way, the differences of motion. These are very familiar. I know the speed and velocity. First of all, we're going with speed and velocity. I wonder what is the difference between mass and weight. Do you know what is the difference between mass and weight? Can anyone tell? Because mass and weight, they are only same. They look same. When you see, it looks same as the mass and weight. So how come they are same here? Are they same or they changing here? See, when I want to ask you, I can ask you what is your weight, but I cannot ask you what is your mass. If I ask you what is your mass, then it will be totally wrong. Then what I have to do? I have to ask you is what is your weight. Then where you use the mass then? If you want to use the mass, then we can say that what is the mass of the earth. There we cannot say what is the weight of the earth. Then you have to use the word mass there. Why you have to use the word mass there? Why you have to use the word weight here? Means, see, mass is never changes. It is permanent. Mass is permanent, the weight can change. So in the beginning you may be 10 kgs or 15 kgs. After some time you can change to 80 kgs, 90 kgs, 100 kg. It depends upon you how much you are changing. But whereas mass, it will never change it. It will be always permanent. You can say the mass of the earth, mass of the Venus, whatever you say. When you use the word mass, it will be always permanent. But when you use the word weight, the weight can change it anytime. These are the difference between the mass as well as the weight, the mass and the weight. Let us go with the speed here. Generally, when we use the word speed, in general, speed is the distance traveled by an object in unit time. So what is speed here? What is speed? So generally, speed is the distance travelled by an object in unit time. In unit time, how much the distance is travelled. For example, how much you are going to reach the target. In how much time you are going to reach any place. For example, if we take from here to any other place. So from here to another place, in how much time and distance you are covering, that is called speed. Or we can get average speed also. Average speed equals to total distance by total time taken. From this problem, very important. And using the word average speed, the formula we use is total distance taken in total time. That is the word speed here. So what is speed? In general, speed is the distance travelled by an object in unit time, and average speed is nothing but total distance covered in total time. Total time taken. How much time you are taking? That much time is called average speed. Average speed. We are taking average speed. You are not taking average speed. We are taking average speed here. So speed is the distance travelled by an object in unit time. One thing, and second thing is average speed equals to total distance covered in total time. Now we will go with velocity. What do you mean by velocity? Now we have saw speed here. Now we will go with velocity. Okay, children, this is for today. We have many things to cover. We have many bridge courses also, many fundamentals also. Because physics is not a single subject, it takes many time and more fundamental things. Thank you for being with me, and we will see you in the next class. Thank you, children.